What's up, everybody? It's Mike once again here. Just want to give you a little insight on my thoughts as far as providing cleaning services for property management or apartments. Um, my actual first job was actually working with a property management. I believe it was Hendricks Property here in San Antonio, Texas. Um, it's a great way to get yourself in the door. There's a lot of benefits of working with like property management or complex in the fact that you're not dealing with a customer in their home. It's usually a vacant home, vacant apartment. There's usually a lockbox. If you work with property management, you may be able to work during around the hours that's good for you. Sometimes it might, if you got several jobs, you can work it till the evening because you got a lockbox. You don't necessarily have somebody there. But I do want to bring up some things to consider when working with a property management. First off, a lot of times they will pay based off of typically like a 30-day cycle or something similar to that. I would say be wary, make sure to align it based off of the way you pay people. And you also have to consider giving yourself a little bit of leniency as far as if in the event that they don't pay on time. Through my experience, I've realized that a lot of peak times, you may be waiting on a check. You may be waiting on those jobs. And if, let's say, you go work for an apartment complex and you did 12 jobs and you got 4 people to pay, and you pay them in 15, 30 days from that job or whatever it is, and you haven't gotten paid yet, that could be a dilemma. That could be a big deal because the reality is that comes out of your pocket, and that brings a lot of stress. Now you're waiting on a check. Give you an example. I work for a company called Caramel Canyon in Alamo Ranch. I did a few jobs for them, and it was like pulling teeth trying to get my money. So the one benefit about working with individuals is you can say, hey, I get a payment before or after service, or what I typically like to do, if it's $1,000 or over, I get half payment in the beginning and get the rest at the end. So you'd like to walk through and make sure to guarantee that you get paid that time and that day. Like I say, it is a good opportunity, I think, in many ways to maybe get in the business, to learn what you're doing, but you got to be wary. Plus, as well as a lot of times property management, they got a budget, and typically with a budget, you're not going to be on the top of the list. All the repairs and the carpet and the appliances and everything goes into, painting. You're usually the last step, and everybody kind of wants it for cheap. So, the reality is that you can get a lot of work through property management. You got to see if it's determined whether it's worth it to you or not. Typically, I see people working for property management. It's like an individual that goes in and cleans. I got a 409 bottle and a rag, and I do it myself. And, I don't mind making $200 or $150 to go clean this 4-bedroom house, and some people may say it's worth it, but the reality is property management is going to hold you to a standard. They want to make sure the vents are clean, the doors, the door frames. They're not going to care if there's a little bit left over or something, or you missed the corner. They're going to want it done and send you back. So that was the reason why I have high expectations. I itemize what I do, but realizing that it is a lot of work, and the fact of managing others to make sure it hits your quality and standard, knowing your ideal customer. It's important for me to know who that is. I like working with realtors because they go ahead and send me business multiple times. Their clients, you can give referrals to them. Like bird dogs and things like that. What that's going to do is, hey, give me a customer, I'll give you a $25 gift card, something like that, HEB, incentivizing them to give you business, but they can give you multiple clients. So are people trying to sell their home, they're in ether to go ahead and get that home cleaned as best as they can. It's worth to pay a little extra to make sure that home looks ready for somebody to move in fresh. Nobody wants to see that toilet dirty or remnants of the old tenants or the people that lived there before. They want it ready to move in clean. It's kind of like the equivalent of going and buying a car. Even if it's pre-owned, you still want to see it clean. You want to see it shiny. You want to see those tires shine on the showroom floor and the wheels, and make sure the vinyl inside is nice and clean. I actually started my business doing auto detailing, so that's why I take that philosophy with me. See, my mission is to provide greatness to whom I have the privilege to serve. So I take it very serious as far as what I like to do. I like to be impressive. So just a little word of advice. If you're thinking about getting into the business, kind of know who your target is. You could be one to say, I'm going to serve whoever needs cleaning. I've done restaurant cleaning, property management, worked with realtors, just basic homeowners, office cleaning. I've done kitchen cleaning, auto detailing. I've done quite a bit of different things, and I've kind of realized that there's something specific I like to work with. There's a lot of money going into something very specific, and I would say if you're starting a business, consider all those things. If you're working for a company, when do they pay? Is there a time frame that you got to work with? Are you getting paid right then and there? Are you going to set a standard saying, hey, I have to get paid by these certain dates? Understanding sometimes there is delays with companies and things like that. And that's usually not fun business to deal with. I'm not saying you can't make good money and do your thing. But typically they're going to pay you cheaper through property management because you're on the end of the list as far as things to do. And there are people that are willing to pretty much clean for almost nothing. So you got to say, hey, what am I going to be specific in and be the best at? That way, so I'm not trying to serve everybody, because I'll tell you what, you'll drive yourself crazy. For me, going and clean your home for $100 isn't worth it to me. Usually customers like that are going to be more difficult to deal with. Usually the ones that want real cheap, Home and Glow, get your home clean for $15-20. Who wants to pay somebody $15-20 to go clean their home? You might get somebody that has sticky fingers. You're allowing them in your house. My customers, they appreciate me and the people that I bring because they feel trustworthy. I think they feel very comfortable with us. They know the quality of work that we do. And I think that my customers, really appreciate us, and they show that appreciation with gratuities and things like that. And I like to serve the clients that appreciate us, because there's a lot of people that'll go hire somebody real cheap, and typically they're the most difficult to please. The ones that actually appreciate and pay for what they want, they really appreciate a good job. They're not hiring people just for price, but they're hiring people for the fact of they're in their home. They know that they can trust them. There's a lot of things that make them feel comfortable with the way it is. Are you willing to learn from your mistakes? Nobody's perfect. And you got to be able to prove to people that you can get it done the way that they want it done. So let me know your thoughts. I'd love to be help in any way. Go ahead and comment to this if you like this, if there's any specific situations you've had with property management or working with apartments, and if you've liked it or not. I've also done senior homes, senior assistant living homes, and things like that. It's a good way to be able to bring some jobs here or there, but is it going to align with your payroll? Is it going to align with the pricing that's worth it to you? So keep that in mind. If you got value from this, go ahead and subscribe at Mike Drust. And I look forward to coming back to you guys soon. Y'all have a great evening.